Hey guys, I'm here. Welcome back for episode 7 of Monarch Legacy of Monsters. I think in this episode we're finally going to be diving into May's backstory a little bit after her confession at the end of the last episode, and if the title's any indicator, that's exactly where we're heading next, which is something I've been very curious about the entire time up until now because there's just been so much mystique around her entire existence. So I'm excited to see what exactly happened, what set her on this path, and why it motivated her so much to need to make this deal. So let's go ahead and hop in. If you want to see the full-length reaction, check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, gets you access as well. It will be a watch-along format, so you will need your own footage to sync up with the time codes from reaction to the entire episode. The same thing for all the other shows and movies that we cover on the channel. You also get to suggest and vote on what movies to react to each month. We got monthly Q&As, behind-the-scenes footage, try to make it worth your while and shit your way support the channel. But guys, at the end of the day, I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this reaction, please leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already, because it really does help these videos out. Huge shout out to the team over at Prepper for helping me edit down these highlights for you guys here on YouTube. And with that all said and out of the way, let's hop into episode 7. Will the real May please stand up? Here we go. Oh, the helicopter. No one survived my ass. I was gonna say, what a way to go out for Tim, man. After everything off screen like that.
I've never been kidnapped before, so how does this work?
Well, at least left something behind.
For a flight.
This isn't your classroom, Miss Randa.
Well, I'm still the older sibling, so deal with it.
Hey, look who's shambling around. Oh, jeez. he's done.
Actually, I'm trying to get hydrated. Figure out a way to get the hell out of here. How are you?
You came.
They created something extraordinary in Monarch. They were fearless enough to believe that the world is so much more vast than we could possibly imagine, and they were humble enough to accept our tiny place in it. Your father, he opened my eyes to that world.
What was he doing out there?
No, there it is. Okay. So, so Tim just believes in the actual Monarch mission. Got a little bloated in the head with Verdugo giving him like a little bit of control there for a little bit. That's what I'm choosing to believe at the time being.
Well, I'm at the airport in Algeria.
We can't contact anyone on the team.
No, you wouldn't be able to because they're gone. Sabbatha. Godzilla happened, actually. He was here.
You're sure?
Kind of hard to miss. Majestic, terrifying.
Godzilla's on the move. We need a full debrief.
He was huge. He appeared out of nowhere, and then he disappeared, guess what? Into nowhere. So consider yourself briefed. I think that you should hear this. Had you not treated these kids like criminals, like I said, then they might have led us to Godzilla. I have to help them find their friend, May Hewitt. They think that we kidnapped her. We didn't kidnap her, did we?
Not that I'm aware of.
I like the way he flipped on that, man. He's like, hold on. We didn't, right? We're back in Alaska. Oh, uh-oh.
My name is Colonel Leland Lafayette Shaw III, and your base is now under my control. You each have a decision to make, a choice. Now, you can go on as if the world...
The hell?
You can stand with us on the right side of history.
Did I miss an edit there? It looks like she literally just blipped away. I'm gonna have to rewatch that.
I should tell you, we did background checks on all of you while you were in custody. The passport that she is using is fake. Her real name is not May.
What is it?
Cora, I've been meaning to check in on you.
Cora.
Didn't expect my code to disappear down some rabbit hole at the cybernetic neuro interface unit.
Any and all output you produce while in our employ is the exclusive property of AET. It's not your code, Cora.
Are you serious?
That's how it works.
It's 819. Try it again.
Interesting. Okay.
I was at Outpost 87, monitoring the gamma ray bursts coming from Alaska, and then these people came in and took over.
Outpost 88 is offline.
Dr. Barnes, what was he doing there? Why Outpost 88?
Jesus. Monarch does not know a damn thing about what's going on, man. And what is he planning?
I just can't imagine me living here.
She did it. Someone named Cora did.
One way to find out.
One might say we're unlocking the legend of Cora.
What if Cora doesn't want them to know the truth? That she's been hiding out using a fake name? Or what if she's protecting them from something? Gotta play this cool. So follow my lead, okay?
You have a horrible track record, sir. Nice.
So how do you guys know Cora again?
We're all in an online manga group.
I didn't know she had so much family.
Yeah, sister and brother and Papa and me, of course.
What kind of manga is Cora into?
Uh-oh. This is gonna fall.
I mean, obviously, Naoko Takeuchi, Moto, Hagio. She's very, very big into Akira Toriyama.
Toriyama?
Hey, how can you not be? She's like, the fuck are you talking about?
So,
Smile and wave, boys.
when was the last time she was home?
2 years.
Wow.
Did you see the sister's face? She knows something she's not saying.
How do you know?
Because she's the only person she's been in contact with. And Taylor! Fucking amateur hour here. Sister's gonna lead her right to them. Other way around.
There's only one way in and out. How did you lose her?
I did not.
Is that her car?
That's her car.
She's still in it?
So, just hold up. Stop.
Get out! Get out of the car!
Ah!
Who is she in trouble with? Who's the company?
Applied Experimental Technologies. Hey, I'll be right back.
Hijack and lock down all their systems. Wonder if this has anything to do with the interface that Apex used to control Mechagodzilla. Or if this is just something altogether its own little thing they got cooking. Because AT doesn't ring a bell to me. Oh.
Why didn't you call the police? There wasn't a warrant.
We prefer to handle these things internally.
So sketchy, man.
How do we get in?
But wasn't that Monarch on
Have a secret rescue system.
the screensaver of that computer down there? It looked like the Monarch logo. Did he just trigger their freaking Titan alarm? Mass panic! Yeah, holy shit. She's like, Tim.
Tim.
I didn't expect her to actually do it, man. Oh shit, this was present day. I didn't even put that together.
Imagine what we can learn from a nervous system that allows something as big as Godzilla to walk. That's what the cybernetic neurointerface we're up to.
Fine, I'm sorry. Can we go now?
No need. If this were real, we would have had advance warning. Your friends are obviously using this as a cover to rescue you. You report back to me everything you learn about these titans.
You want me to be your spy?
Just keep doing what you've been doing. Living.
Oh my god.
I'm so glad we got this settled. Thank you for coming in.
I was using you to save my own ass.
I came all this way to catch
I
you.
know, but I didn't ask you to do that.
I'm sorry for
I really, seriously, you need to. My name is not May. Are you listening to me? I need you to get the hell out of here.
What are they gonna do to her?
I'll prosecute her for the damage that she caused, otherwise make her work it off somehow. I feel like they wanted something from her.
Oh, shit.
Stop acting like you know my business simply because your name is Brenda. What I do know is that you have a Shaw problem. You need to know where he's going and what he's doing, am I right? You help us get May back, and we'll help you find Shaw.
Yep.
There's a Natalia Verdugo from Monarch here asking to see
Cora.
No. So now it's everybody versus Shaw, it seems like. Whole thing's been about getting the bureaucracy to wake the fuck up.
What was Monarch gonna say about the Titan alert?
PR will handle it.
I think that we should do this. You should do this, the PR thing. We have to bring Monarch out of the shadows.
Oh, that's when this lines up then. We're kind of getting the how they're brought about into the public eye.
Okay, we're...
Oh, well, here we are.
I know that the events of G-Day, they rock the world. A world where everything that we love, everything that we hold dear, it just could be gone in an instant. Monsters are an inescapable reality, a constant threat that we must learn to survive. And I believe we can.
It just runs in the family, man.
Oh, yes. It just arrived.
What just arrived?
I think it's perfect. A bold statement for AET's new corporate mission. Good night, Mr. Simmons.
Yep. Fuck. Woo! Called that shit. They don't have that skull yet, though. Timeline doesn't add up for that.
Shaw here, talk to me. Colonel, both teams are at the safety points. Are we clear?
But they're still working on that setup, at least. I think that's just like a keystone that boosted them towards control.
Ready for you, sir. All right, here we go.
Blowing the emergence point.
Sir, look.
Outer circle, mark.
Oh.
Now watch this.
What the hell? Our little star-nosed mole just got glorped into that tornado. What the fuck? He erased the emergence point or closed it. Sent that, our little friend packing into that thing. Okay, so he says okay. Again, at this point, I don't know how to take anything Shaw says, so I don't know how much value we should put into things he's saying. He's trying to correct the mistakes of Monarch as he sees them in his eyes. I don't know what that entails. I don't know what he truly means by that. He says he wants to help Godzilla. As we see, Godzilla has made a pattern out of heading towards these emergence points and kind of hibernating, absorbing that energy. So I don't know if that exactly bodes true for him doing what he just did here. He went back to the Alaskan outpost, which is emitting the same amount of radiation as we saw in San Francisco on G-Day. So he came up here with this team, took control of the outpost, and set off these explosions to lure out the star-nosed mole, and then it caused this chain reaction with all these explosions around this emergence point, created this vortex, sucked it in, and then it just kind of collapsed in upon itself. Kind of like a singularity almost. So I don't know. My initial theory was it was the hollow earth pouring out, the radiation spewing out, maybe kind of like with those points that they use to travel down into it once they have those craft that are able to do so. But I don't know. He closed it. This goes back to me wondering how he's choosing his words and what words we can choose to take as at face value. And all that comes back to me like wondering how we can take the words, take the knowledge that we've learned from him, the things that he's said to heart, how much of that is true? Because if that is what he was out here to do, help Godzilla, how does this help Godzilla, removing this emergence point? The only thing I could say that in helping Godzilla is removing potential alphas for him to challenge. Not that this little thing would have even done anything. This thing would have been nothing. So I don't know how that fits in. So Apex was working on this interface, or at least working with AAT, kind of behind Monarch's back, because they were clearly working on something with Monarch. I want to just double check that, because I'm pretty sure that was the Monarch logo on that computer screen before she saw the experiments on those apes. Yeah, it is. So, they have this agreement with Monarch, obviously. Monarch came in and pulled some strings after Verdugo got pushed so much that she had no other option at this point to finally listen to Tim and to take this seriously and take responsibility that Monarch is meant to be taking this entire time, where it's just kind of become this apathetic third party that, honestly, I don't know what the hell they've been doing all these years after What's-His-Nuts took over as their project leader in place of Shaw. So now we just got two contesting parties at this point trying to figure out what to do in the wake of all this, because now it's just like, what's Shaw doing? He's shutting down our outposts. What is he going? What is he trying to do? And we really don't know all that much, but it is seemingly the mission, what they originally had signed up for, the same thing that Tim has kind of been fighting for in his own less volatile way. So I think I finally got a handle on Tim. While it seemed like his allegiances were just in the wind most of the time, at the end of the day, it all boiled down to the science. Like, if you compare his story with what we saw with Randa and all that stuff in the past and all that, it was this battle, this push and pull of the system and the actual aims of Monarch. There was compromises that needed to be made, right? That Keiko and Bill and all of them were willing to make sure that this stayed operational, so that the work they wanted to be doing and needed to be doing would still get funded. And it was really Shaw and his emotionality that compromised that whole situation. In that way, we're still kind of seeing that force, that push and pull happening today. So it's like we're seeing like the fallout of that change in leadership then to now, and Verdugo kind of being in this swivel point of where are we going next? Are you going to maintain the status quo that has been going on since Monarch became what it wasn't meant to be? Or are we going to get things back on course? And so Tim, while there's been some moments where their allegiances or their aims have crossed over, so to speak. He's kind of been a proponent of that. He looks up to Bill Randa and Keiko Randa, and he looks up to Shaw, the legacy, the people that built this place. He looks up to the idea of what this is meant to be, what they're supposed to be doing. He was friends with Hiroshi, or at least acquaintances. He was a believer in what Monarch was supposed to be doing, but hadn't been. But he was in this like position in the basement, you know, just kind of scrubbing, doing cybersecurity and stuff like that, going through files or whatever. And he took that chance once he saw that breach with Bill Randa's files getting leaked online, somebody accessing them. He took a chance on taking a stand. He was like, he didn't go to Verdugo because he couldn't necessarily trust Verdugo. That's just the way I'm kind of piecing things together now, because he didn't know what she was going to do. He was going to try to reach out to the legacies of their founders and try to negotiate on behalf of Monarch with them in a play to try to get Monarch back on course through it's kind of heirs in a way. I don't know. There's just some moments where he got a little high on his own fumes when he figured out Hiroshi's plans, figured out what the kids were doing. He had his Columbo moment, as he said. He got a little high on his own steam, man, like, and almost paid the price for it. At the end of the day, his heart was kind of in the right place. He just kind of got a little blinded with his own hubris for a little bit, much like May did, much like Cora did in the past with the way she confronted AT and took that upon herself to deliver her own kind of self-destructive justice. Very similar vibes there that I got between her and Tim. And then we got all that backstory with her, though, you know, this shady tech organization that's got its hands in with Apex and with Monarch, you know, they've got their own means to handle everything. Obviously, they didn't get authorities involved because everything that's going on there is probably hush-hush, very hush-hush, you know. And if they had started to get an investigation around, which they were still prepared to do, and I'm sure they'd be able to skirt having to reveal too much of anything, but they were trying to avoid all that together. Looks like May turned them down, at least. So we'll see what happens next. Or she's going to spy on them and continue to be this double agent. But I want to believe her in that she turned them down and didn't take that offer to be that kind of informant from the inside. And, you know, much like there's just this sharing of lovers that has been going on throughout the course of this series, May, who originally was romantically entangled with Kentaro, is now seemingly catching the feels for his sister. So it's like everywhere there's a triangle that just keeps happening in and around their orbit, which is kind of hilarious. What do you guys think Shaw's up to? What do you think he's actually up to? Do you think he's honest in his whole I'm helping Godzilla thing, I'm trying to prevent the next G-Day, blah, blah, blah? What do you think that's about? You think maybe he's trying to close these points to keep Godzilla from arriving at them? That eventually Godzilla would have made his way up there? I mean, this emergence thing was going on. Maybe it wasn't at its peak yet, but it's been going on since they detected it a while back. But even then, Godzilla was taking a nap at that other one down in the desert. He didn't seem to give two shits about this one up there. Maybe he would have made his way there eventually. But it seemed like these emergence things, these anomalies where these spikes in gamma radiation occur, feels like they were setting up for that to be his next destination. I mean, it could mean something wholly different, but I don't know what it entails now that they closed this point. I don't know, lots of fun little stuff going on. What was the date for King of the Monsters? Because the film was in 2019. I mean, if any evidence, the year the films came out have been the years in universe that it took place. Godzilla's attack in 2014 when the movie came out, in the universe was 2014 as well. So I presume we got 5 years, well, 4 years, because it's 2015 at the time of the show. So I imagine, 5 years after the extent giant monsters were revealed to the world. So yes, it is in fact in 2019. So we have 4 years until Ghidorah even manifests, awakens, and that gets that head severed, and that head eventually makes its way to Apex by the time of Godzilla vs. Kong. So Apex has been aware of these things even longer. So they also probably all have their own contract with Monarch, and then we have these like crossover, and or AET has been leaking this information outward in a way to establish this partnership with Apex. Hold on, what was Apex's? I don't think there was much information on it. It is unknown when Apex was founded, but after its CEO Walter Simmons became inspired by the revelation of Godzilla's existence in 2014, the company became a main vehicle of its corporate conspiracy to find a way to kill Godzilla and usurp him as the apex predator. So yeah, well, that makes sense. That makes sense. By my understanding, the way this would probably play out is Godzilla awoken, and he was like, hey, fuck that thing. We are not going to let these creatures take over our position on this planet. We need a way to stop them, a way to fight them back. And so they've probably been working on the Mechagodzilla project all the way back here. Obviously in its early stages, you know, there's no way they got to where they were or even close to that. All the things that would come into place over the years would be ways to make that later project even function. So it all starts with this neural interface here, which they later connect to Serizawa's son, to the Ghidorah skull, which allows him to pilot it. You know, it gives it that connection through the kind of hive mind essence that Ghidorah's skull kind of permeates. I can't remember exactly. It has like a psionic field that allows them to connect with it and use that to kind of physically control the suit with their own body. Kind of like a G Gundam sort of thing. Or from what I've seen, Pacific Rim, I think, kind of has a very similar thing, where you sync up with the thing you're controlling, and that's what they were testing here, is that interface, which we'll see later implemented in the larger scheme of thing to hook up the human component. So that's fun. That's fun. Anyway, I don't know what else to talk about, guys. What are your thoughts on everything we learned in this episode? How do you think that this is going? Where do you think this is going to go from here? Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Hope you enjoyed the reaction. If you did, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. Remember, if you want to see the full length reaction, check it out over on Patreon, or if you got a member of the channel, get you access as well. And speaking of, before we go, I want to shout out our channel legends: Manny Sher, Ryan Karen, York Coruscant, Melita, Robert Anguiano, Jeffrey Hale, Jake Contrell, Eric Official, Amy Becca, Casey Wood, JoJo, and Scythe. Thank you guys so much for continued support. That's it for this video, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.